Boop, boop, boop. Dun, 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 dun. Meow. Here we are. The boys are back, and we're here. And we're here. Is the feed going live? Yes, it is. Okay. Welcome to
AVG
Fantasy Football Podcast, Week 13, baby. This is the first time we're doing this live. We normally pre-record and then, post them as premieres, and they look a little bit live. But this is actually live. We're in the flesh today.
We're live from Las Vegas. It's the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Missionary Mike.
Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. So today we're going to go over waiver wire week 13, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses, all those people you need to add. It's getting close to the end of the fantasy football season. I think we got about 2 weeks left, and then you go into playoffs. So if you need to get those last couple wins in, this is the episode or video for you, because we're going to go over all the good stuff. I will say we're not messing around anymore. We're not, this guy might do this. No, we're grabbing safe guys. It's too late, right?
It's too late. We're in the nitty gritty right now.
Exactly. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Let's jump in, and we're going to talk about, first off, we'll go into the quarterbacks. We got our boy Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has been doing pretty well. I was talking to you about him actually, what was that, yesterday?
Yeah, you're talking to me off air. But yeah, good matchup this week. They're going to be in Houston against the Texans. I mean, he's coming off a 300-yard passing game with 3 touchdowns in that kind of like shootout with Tom Brady and the Bucs last week. He obviously has a couple turnovers. That's kind of the demise for the Colts and why they lost the game against the Bucs. But I mean, yeah, I like this matchup this week for Carson Wentz. He's 55% available. He's actually QB 11 on the year, so he's been a back-end quarterback one. So if you need a streaming option, I'm not mad at grabbing Carson Wentz this week.
Yeah, Carson Wentz has been pretty solid, I will say, which is surprising. He's very ballsy, that guy. I'm watching him play.
Yeah.
You want to move on to the next one?
Or
you want to bring up some stuff?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, for the season, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He threw 2 on Sunday. So, I mean, he's been pretty efficient with the ball in terms of, like, not turning the ball over. I feel like it was one of those things where, like, they jinx it where, like, oh, he's made 16 field goals in a row, and then he misses. Right. Like, they were talking about, like, he's super efficient. Like, he only has 3 picks on the year, and then he just started throwing all these picks. But,
yeah. But okay, let's move on to the next one here. We got our boy Tua Tagovailoa. God, I can't ever say his freaking name.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Everybody says Taglo, but it's Tagovailoa.
Yes, something like that.
But yes, let's go into the Tua. It's been pretty solid. That left-handed quarterback, pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah, it'd be like a QB2,
yeah.
But I mean, back-to-back games, he's had over 80% completion percentage. I mean, and we're throwing the football. I say weeks, I'm a Dolphins fan, but throwing the football outside of Jalen Waddle, outside of Mike Gesicki. I mean, there's not really too many passing weapons here. Throwing the ball to like Smythe, who's a backup tight end, and Isaiah Ford and Mac Hollins. Like, these guys are, I don't want to say no names, but these guys aren't anyone special. So we'll see if we can finally get Devonte Parker back, finally get Will Fuller on the field. And if those guys are on the field, then that would only boost my confidence and Tua going forward. I mean, like I said, he's being highly efficient with the football, back-to-back games with 80-plus completion percentage. And for as bad as the offensive line is, Tua's, pocket presence and his awareness is, one of the best in the league right now.
Nice. Yeah, you know better than anybody being a Dolphins fan.
Yep.
Want to move on to the next one here?
4 in a row for the Dolphins, so they're hot. They're hot like Hansel.
Yeah,
I think it's official. Their NBA jam heating up right now.
The Dolphins' defense has been pretty nuts too.
Yeah, they're gonna be at home against the Giants, so not a game where you're like, oh yeah, I'm scared of the Giants' defense.
Yeah, right. Let's go on to the next quarterback here. We have our boy Taysom Hill. How you feeling about Taysom Hill?
Yeah, so
because you threw this one in here.
Yeah, just so the reports came out that they're thinking about making a switch to Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback. So if Taysom Hill is the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, we've seen it in the past where, he gives you that safe rushing floor, kind of like a Cam Newton, kind of like a Lamar Jackson-esque type of player because, when they get into the goal line, they will utilize him, in that like wildcat formation kind of style of, him being the quarterback in the shotgun. He can just take it and, run, in those goal line packages. So, yeah, if Taysom Hill is the starting quarterback, I think he's a look at grabbing if you're looking for a quarterback down the stretch in the fantasy season.
Right. Yeah, it's not bad. Rushing upside. Harry Wolf, by the way, he's commenting. We're going to try and answer questions towards the end of this recording, okay? But feel free to put more in there if you want to. But, okay, let's go on to the next. We're going to go on to the running backs now, huh?
Yeah, let's run it.
I put
see what I did there?
I put Alexander, I put Alexander Madison first just because it's pretty. I mean, I put him as the thumbnail, so he's in the he's in the thumbnail. Everybody's ready. Dalvin Cook obviously gets the shoulder a little bit more injured again, so Alexander Madison time. This is like kind of what we were talking about last week was don't mess around with the picking up these wide receiver 3s or flex option wide receivers. Go ahead and grab these backups. Grab these handcuffs. And Alexander Madison was one of them. I was able to pick him up last week in a league, and I'm super hyped that I have him because the next couple weeks, it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Dalvin Cook goes down. It was crazy because he got hit. It looked really serious. You're thinking like a knee or something like that. But, it ends up being the shoulder, a torn labrum. So they're saying it could be 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the severity of the injury. But, yeah, Madison's got to be one of the top, if not the top, waiver wire ad this week. And back in weeks 3 and 5, when Dalvin Cook missed, Alexander Madison saw 32 touches in both those games. He put up over 25 fantasy points in both those games. So
he's one of the best handcuffs. He's one of the guys that he immediately becomes super fantasy relevant.
Yeah, 100%. If you can go out and get him, I mean, he's a top 10 play. He might be a top 5 play. You're telling me a guy's going to get the ball 30 times? Yeah, sign me up all day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he'd be the number one guy right now. And we said it in a couple, last couple episodes. It's, as Mike said, we're not messing around anymore. It's no longer, okay, this guy, that guy, or let me hold on to this, 4th or 5th wide receiver that's probably never going to see my lineup. Like I'm getting my handcuffs. I'm not messing around. Let me go get Tony Pollard. Let me go get Sony Michel for Darrell Henderson. Let me get Alexander Madison for Dalvin Cook. Guys like that. So it's, hopefully you listen. Hopefully you're being smart. And you had Alexander Madison if you're a Dalvin Cook owner, because if you don't, Chuba Hubbard for Christian McCaffrey, he's out for the year. We'll touch on him in a second. It's time to just go get these handcuffs. If they're out there, just you want to cover your ass, for lack of a better word, and get that insurance policy. So yeah, Alexander Madison, if you got him, dial it up because he's going to put up some serious fantasy points for you this week.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go on to the next one here. We got speaking of handcuffs, we got our boy Chuba Hubbard. Man, what a bummer, Christian McCaffrey, huh?
I mean, yeah, it's been back-to-back seasons where he just can't seem to stay healthy, and I don't know if it's the massive workloads that he's gotten in the years past that he's kind of the wear and tear of being in the NFL. I mean, obviously the NFL is super, super violent, but yeah. Chuba Hubbard, I mean, you got to go get him too. He'd be number 2. He might even be number 1, I guess, because technically Dalvin Cook's going to come back, and for the rest of the season, Chuba Hubbard's the guy. I mean, Chris McCaffrey's out for the year. So, but yeah, in those games, he was playing over 50% of the snaps, 65%, but majority of them over 50% of the snaps there. A guy who was getting utilized out of the backfield as well. So. Yeah, Alexander Madison, Chuba Hubbard, these guys are just at the top of the waiver wire priority this week.
Here's the thing is that with Alexander Madison, I put him ahead just because, he's immediately going to be fantasy relevant versus Chuba Hubbard is he's had games where it's not, he doesn't step in and just do what Christian McCaffrey does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you get him for longer, so put that into consideration. But I would be going for Alexander Madison first. That's just me.
Yeah, like I said, it just depends because we don't know the severity of Dalvin Cook. Like, is it 2 weeks? Then, yeah, you have him for 2 weeks. But then when you get into the fantasy playoffs, do you lose Madison now because Cook comes back?
Frank Chapp says he doesn't think Dalvin Cook will come back.
I mean, it's unknown.
Yeah.
So we got to wait and see what happens with that. But, like, at least we know with Chuba Hubbard, he's the guy. Like, he's going to be the guy who plays there. I mean, in a couple of those games there, he had over 20 carries, 2 of the games. The ceiling might be higher with Alexander Mattison for the first 2 weeks or the 2 games that Cook's out. But I think long term, if you're looking for, like, hey, I just need a guy who's going to play the rest of the season for me, I think it's Chuba Hubbard that you should be targeting.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. Alexander Madison gets the Lions.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
For sure.
But let's go on to the next one here. We got our boy Tony Pollard, another handcuff. So I don't know if this is the order you wanted me to put these in, but I feel like this is the order of importance.
Yeah, I mean, he was just widely available in a couple leagues from what I saw. So, and like I said, we're not messing around anymore. Go get him, especially because there's been some chatter of them wanting to sit Zeke and rest Zeke because he's not 100%. I think it's like a knee or ankle injury or something like that. So they might sit him. And, I mean, we've seen how explosive Tony Pollard has looked. I mean, the guy's in a contract here. Who knows if they'll pay him to keep him? Probably not because they have all these other mouths to feed. Dak, Zeke got paid. Amari Cooper got paid. So there's all these players that the Cowboys have paid. So, especially if you're like in a dynasty league, try to go get Tony Pollard because next year he could be the starting running back for a different team. And if he's going to get a full workload where he's getting 20 touches a game, I mean, we see how explosive he looks when he's only getting 10 touches a game. I mean, imagine if that guy was getting 20, 25 touches a game. I mean, he'd be an back-end RB1, in my opinion, going forward, depending on the team he goes to potentially. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, if Zeke misses, Tony Pollard, you're dialing him up. And if you have Zeke, you want to handcuff him because, God forbid he sits or he gets hurt. I have Zeke. I'm in 6 leagues. I have Zeke in 5 of my 6 leagues, and I have Tony Pollard in every single league because I'm just, like I said, I want to cover my ass. I want that insurance policy of having him in case anything does happen to Zeke.
Yeah, then totally. I can't disagree with any of that. Tony Pollard also, what was it, a punt return touchdown or was it a kick return touchdown?
Kick return.
I mean, a kick return touchdown is pretty wild.
Yeah.
You don't really see that very often. Dude's athletic. Boss. I started him in a league, actually. No big deal. Let's go on to our boy Tevin Coleman for the New York Jets. Are you excited about a New York Jet running back? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, I'm not excited for a New York Jets running back, but, I mean, he's 75% available. He played 45% of the snaps. It's the touches that are intriguing here because, last week when he's talked on it, we were thinking maybe it would be Ty Johnson. That was my personal opinion because there's been games where Tevin Coleman was a healthy scratch. So it's like, okay, well, if he's so good, why would he just be a healthy scratch when you had Michael Carter and Ty Johnson out there? But in the game, Tevin Coleman gets you 18 total touches. Ty Johnson only gets you 6. And then you get Austin Walter coming off the practice squad or whatever it is. He gets you 9 touches. He actually vultures the touchdown as well. So, I mean, Tevin Coleman was the guy. And this was a competitive game. They were kind of trailing for a little bit, took the lead in the second half. So, I mean, volume is king. And if you're just hurting for somebody and you're just like, hey, man, I just need somebody who's going to get me some, 15-plus touches. And, obviously when they get in the goal line, it's depending on who's going to be there. Ty Johnson can take the goal line. Zach Wilson had a rushing touchdown in close. So, I mean, just like I said, we're getting to a point where, you can never have enough running backs. And I always say that you can never have enough depth at the running back position. And if a guy like Tevin Coleman's out there for now, I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's at this point, you want startable guys, and if you think Tevin Coleman is, I'm with it. Sorry, I'm just messing with this stream because it's lagging a little bit. But anything else on Tevin Coleman, our boy?
Nah, that's about it.
That's it. I just didn't know you were in the green, so I thought, big Jets guy. All right, let's move on to the Titans running back. We got Deontay Foreman. Obviously, so I'm curious what your thoughts on this because, you have Hilliard had a pretty decent game. What's going on?
I mean, yeah, this one's tricky because they literally split it 50-50, or if you want to get technical, I think it was 41%, 59, 51%, 49% is what the split was. So basically 50-50 split between the two running backs here. They're both widely available. Foreman gets you 20 touches, 112 yards. Hilliard gets you 13 touches, 131 yards. And the long touchdown runs is a 68-yard touchdown run. Kind of just blew by everybody. I mean, me personally, obviously they're going to do like a running back by committee here, but if I'm picking one, I'm picking Foreman. You know, they gave him more work, and outside of the long touchdown run, you know, that kind of saved Hilliard's day for me, in my opinion, at least. So, you know, going forward, I think Foreman's the guy who's kind of fits that mold of, you know, you can't replace Derrick Henry, and you're never going to be able to replicate what Derrick Henry does for this offense. But if there's a guy out of the two who can kind of, you know, imitate what he was or what they're trying to do for this Titans offense, it'd be Deontay Foreman for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious. So, like, would you add Deontay Foreman's the guy you want?
I mean, yeah, 20 touches. You know, that's a lot. Yeah, sign me up. And that game, they were losing the whole game.
Yeah.
So it's not like he got phased out. You know, they were still trying to establish the ground game and, you know, utilize him out of the backfield.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one here. We got our boy Jamal Williams. Lots of handcuffs today, huh?
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's as you know, they say we get into the winter time months. It's cuffing season. It's cuddle season or whatever.
Is that cuffing season? Yeah.
It's cuffing season, that's for sure. But yeah, DeAndre Swift goes down on Thanksgiving, gets hurt. Dan Campbell came out and said it's hard to see him playing this week. He's still really sore. I believe it's a shoulder injury. So if it's like an AC joint sprain, I personally have had that in the past. It's super painful. So I can only imagine as being an NFL running back, getting hit, landing on it, all those things. Very, very painful. But Jamal Williams, 55% available. He would step in and be the go-to guy for the Lions. I know the offense isn't very good, but we've seen how much they utilize the running backs out of the backfield. I mean, DeAndre Swift getting a ton of passing work out of the backfield. Even Jamal Williams on Thanksgiving, 5 targets, gets you 5 receptions out of the backfield. So should be able to supply you with a safe floor if DeAndre Swift misses, which it looks like he is going to miss, for at least a game or two.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamal Williams, and probably one of the funniest guys we found out this year.
Yeah.
In interviews.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, go grab him. Swift will probably come back. You know, because it's a shoulder injury, so it's probably like a pain tolerance thing, but you just never know. Does he aggravate it or injure it worse, and then he's got to miss more time, or maybe even the rest of the season? You know, if you have a guy like Jamal Williams, you basically have the starting running back for the Detroit Lions if anything happens to Swift going forward.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to.
And they like him. They're buying him dinners, taking him out.
Treating
him good.
Let's go on to the wide receiver position. We're going to go to our boy Christian Kirk first for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what order you wanted all these in, but I got Christian Kirk going first. You're just sold with all these changes going on. The Cardinals look good.
Yeah, Cardinals look good. Don't call me out. They're the number 1 team right now, right? Are they like 8-2 or 9-2?
Yeah, I think they're number 1 in the.
They're number 1 in all of NFL.
In the NFC and also all of teams football.
But yeah, they're coming off the bye week, so hopefully they can get Kyler Murray back from the ankle injury. I would, bet that he comes back finally after missing a couple games. Kyler Murray does, and like we said, Christian Kirk, he's been balling. He's been a top 30 wide receiver on the season so far, and I think it's largely in part to him being able to move back into the slot, which is where he was primarily playing majority of the time when he was in college. So you have A.J. Green on the outside. Hopefully DeAndre Hopkins can come back as well, which, like I said, utilizes Kirk in the slot. And, when you have guys like A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins on the outside, it just opens up the field for a guy like Christian Kirk to eat up in the middle of the field. Yeah. He's more owned than not, but if he's out there, I would definitely like to get him. Even if you don't play him, I always say it. I would rather have Christian Kirk on my bench putting up 25 points instead of my opponent grabbing him and now he scores 25 points against me. Sometimes it's like you're like playing defense in a sense. Like I'm blocking you. Like I'd rather block anyone else from getting this player or blocking them from getting him so he doesn't negatively affect me when he has like a blow-up game.
Right. Yeah, preventing it from going up against you is probably one of the best things.
Yeah.
And that goes for everybody too, even these handcuffs. Like if you're like, oh, I don't need them, like I have this guy, whatever. It's like if you have that and that you prevent the other person from getting that player, then that's someone you don't have to go up against.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go on to our next one here. Obviously, we got to talk about some Dolphins guys. We got a quarterback we talked about. Let's talk about a wide receiver, huh?
I think I talked about Devonte Parker every episode.
You love Devonte Parker.
He's definitely one of my favorite players, especially being a Miami Dolphins fan. But I think it's just because I've seen personally how good this guy is. Like, I don't know. I think he's one of the, like I said, maybe I'm biased because I'm a Dolphins fan, but I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, just as a complete wide receiver. I just think his knack has always been injuries. He cannot stay on the field.
Yeah.
And the targets. Like in the past, when he first came in the league as a rookie, the first couple of years, like he was never getting targeted. It was Landry was there, who was like the PPR machine for the Dolphins for those 3-4 years he was there with Miami. So injuries and lack of targets have always been his thing. But we saw that one year with Ryan Fitzpatrick when he was getting targeted. I mean, the guy finished as a top 10 wide receiver because that's how talented he is when he gets the ball. Just like he just got to throw the ball up to him and he's going to go up and make plays. But again, this year, battling injuries, so he's missed a lot of time. We'll see if he practices or not. Obviously if he practices and he plays, this only boosts the Dolphins offense and Tua going forward. But I mean, he's seen 7 or more targets in the 5 games that he has played. So, and if Tua's been, as efficient as he has been lately, if he's seeing a floor of 7 targets, you got to think he's going to be getting at least 5 catches. And then, he's always been a guy who's been a big yards per catch guy. So, yeah, I like grabbing the stash in him just to see what he could be down the stretch. I mean, and the schedule for the Dolphins is pretty nice. I mean, they get the Giants this week. They go on a bye, but then the Jets, New Orleans, and Tennessee. You're not really shying away from any of those matchups down the stretch.
It's like the opposite of the Steelers schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dolphins, you guys look good.
Yeah, Dolphinitely.
How about Jalen Waddle?
Waddle.
Dude, that touchdown celebration. That's my favorite. Let's go on to the next wide receiver here, huh? Let's talk about our boy Sterling Shepard. Kadarius Toney's been breaking my heart this year. But you know who's not been breaking hearts? Sterling Shepard.
I mean, he is breaking hearts. This guy can't stay healthy either, but,
No, I know.
The 3 games that he's started and finished, he's had
that's what I'm
9 or more targets in all those games, and he's had over 13 PPR points in all those games. So it's like, can this guy just stay healthy and stay on the field is the biggest thing here, because for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, Kenny Golladay, they're just not utilizing him. They paid the guy $70 million or whatever it is. They're just not utilizing him. Kadarius Toney, I mean, he gets you 13 targets, but he gets you, 40 yards because they're just not utilizing him correctly either. It's all these, dink and dunk things instead of having him stretch the field. I don't know. Darius Slayton's there, but it just seems like
to be fair,
Sterling Shepard is the go-to guy in this passing attack on the offense. I mean, we've seen it where, he's been on the field. So he's a good grab and stash player for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, the only thing is, Daniel Jones drives me crazy. It's like I mean, to be fair, Kadarius Toney did get 12 targets last time he played.
Yeah, for 40 yards?
yeah.
Give me 12 targets. I'm getting more than 40 yards.
Bro, stop.
Dude, I'll beat you in a race right now.
Bro, he threw – all right, whatever. Throws
See, dude?
Throws everything
You're
underneath.
stumbling over your words just like you stumbling over your feet that one time you were running.
You don't be mad just because I'm much faster than you. You could wear white shoes. I'll wear black shoes. I'll still outrun you.
What the fuck does the color of his shoes
Everybody knows that you look faster if you wear white shoes.
Oh, dude, it's science.
I'll wear black shoes.
Is that why they call him Billy White Shoes Johnson?
That's why.
Is that his name? Billy White Shoes
Johnson? That's why they call me Mikey Black Shoes. Mikey Black. That's what they call. That's what they call me.
I thought they called you Missionary Mike.
Yeah, that's my other one. No, yeah. Let's go on to the next receiver. We got T.Y. Hilton. What do we always say about T.Y. Hilton? He old. No, I'm just kidding.
So this was more because the fact that he's playing against Houston, and I don't know if they call him like T.Y. Houston because he has a
destroys them.
History of just shellacking the Houston Texans for whatever it is. It's just one of those teams when T.Y. Hilton plays against the Houston Texans, he has himself a game. I mean, back in week 6, 80 receiving yards doesn't sound like a lot, but that's the most receiving yards he's had in a game all season. So if you just want to go off the trends, just want to go off the history, Colts coming off a bye. I mean, coming off a loss, tough loss that they kind of gave away to the Bucs last week. They're going to be in Houston against the Texans. If history is going to repeat itself, then expect a big T.Y. Hilton game here. So, it's boom bust, but history has, showed that T.Y. likes to boom against the Texans.
Yeah. And they say is history does repeat itself. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just super out of it. But yeah, no, I'm not mad at that at all, to be honest. Yeah. The Colts look good. Let me ask you a question. What do you think what do you think the Titans record is right now? I know it's super random, but I was just looking at these records because we were talking about the Cardinals and whatnot.
How many games has it been? 12?
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are at 11. But the Titans have
7
played
and
12
4
games. They're 8-4.
8-4. Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I thought the Titans I think it's because their losses have been to like such random teams.
Yeah. Like
losing to I just thought that they were worse. But the Colts are 6-6. But I think the Colts can win that division
for sure. Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, getting sidetracked. But we got our boy. Last one here, I think, is Van Jefferson for the wide receiver position. Yeah, Odell. What's going on with these Rams?
I mean, yeah, we talked about Van Jefferson last week. He's been playing over 90% of the snaps. Obviously Robert Woods goes down. They bring in Odell Beckham, but, he's the guy who, they drafted. So, they want to utilize him. He's the guy who's been there longer, so he knows the playbook. He's been there all training camp, the whole season. Odell just got there. Obviously, Odell has the big game as well. But, 9 targets for Van Jefferson last week. Only gets you 3 catches, but he does get you 93 yards and the touchdown. So, Stafford's going to be slanging that thing. I like Van Jefferson because, they seem to be spreading the ball around and running three wide receiver sets a ton. 90% of the snaps in 4 of the last 5 games. The guy is just on the field a ton. And when you're on the field a ton, and you got a guy like Matthew Stafford, a good offense like the Rams, why not? Sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're in that spot. I think I will say for the waiver wire though, I'm targeting a lot of these running backs.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Wide receivers are just kind of like ones to throw in there, but these running backs that we talked about are the ones that
Van, you got to think too for Van, it's when you have Cooper Kupp out there that defenses have to account for. Obviously Odell, we still don't know what he's going to be, but he's a guy that you have to account for as well. So you're getting like the 3rd, 4th string corner basically, or the 3rd or 4th best defender covering Van Jefferson. So advantage, Van Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Let's go on to, you want to talk some tight ends?
Let's run it real quick.
Let's talk about our boy Cole Comet, the tight end for the Chicago Bears. This one's kind of been surprising me, to be honest. I feel like Dre was talking about Cole Komet a little bit a couple weeks ago when we did the live stream. What are your thoughts on the guy?
I don't know if this is largely – there's probably a lot of factors here, but he gets you 8 catches, 65 yards on 11 targets. Factors here. No Allen Robinson. Factor number 2, Andy Dalton can actually complete a pass. Justin Fields cannot.
Bro, yeah, Andy Dalton is looking so good without Justin Fields.
It's just he's just a savvy veteran. Andy Dalton's been doing this for 10 years or whatever it is. So he's seen it all. Up. He knows what it is. Obviously, Justin Fields a rookie, and he's still got a lot of time to grow and progress in his NFL career. But for these weapons, I guess outside of Darnell Mooney, but Allen Robinson, Cole Komet, if Andy Dalton is at the helm throwing the football, I feel a lot more confident potentially starting these guys. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Allen Robinson. We'll see if he plays. We'll see if Justin Fields comes back, if he's healthy, if they just throw him back in there, or if they just let Andy Dalton finished the rest of the season. So, but yeah, just Cole Komet, just a name to keep an eye on. And if you're in like a dynasty league, I like buying low on Cole Komet potentially if you can.
Yeah.
Try to get him right now before he starts to emerge because, Jimmy Graham's not going to be there next year. And if Justin Fields can make that leap, it seems like he's a guy that Justin Fields has been targeting. I mean, for a large part, he was getting, like 5-6 targets a game with Justin Fields at the quarterback position. So, yeah, just a name to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad at it. Let's go on to our boy Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas looks good. He looks athletic. We watched him last night play for the Washington football team. I will say, too, Taylor Heineke, I think I texted you this during the game, is Taylor Heineke's fun to watch play, too. Like, I mean, I don't know. Washington's actually a fun team to watch. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was like someone was comparing him like, we're so excited for Ryan Fitzpatrick over there, just like the gunslinger mentality.
It's
and
like
it's
he
kind of
looks
like,
like his little brother.
yeah, it's just like he's like just like the younger version of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I mean, I don't know, it's like a guy like Heineke who, didn't play at a big college and, I don't know if he got drafted or undrafted or whatnot, but like, just a guy who wasn't like a high profile name. You weren't expecting Tyler Heineke to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And, a guy who just, you could see like he plays with that chip on his shoulder and like, he's out there. He's out there to win the game. He's not scared to make these throws, throw the ball up to guys like Terry McLaurin, throw the ball up to a guy like Logan Thomas and, have them go make a play. But Logan Thomas finally comes back. And this has got to be one of the juiciest schedules for tight ends down the stretch. They play the Raiders, Dallas, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Philadelphia. Those are all green-rated matchups. So if you can go out and get Logan Thomas, I think that he could be a guy that you just like set it and forget it at the tight end position, especially if you've been struggling at the tight end position like most people are, because it's so hard to find a good, reliable, consistent tight end week to week.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not like me and have Travis Kelce and Gronk, I mean, I can understand. You got to go get our boy Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the best tight end in the league, Pat Freiermuth.
Pat Freiermuth.
The Steelers had no offense last week except, he's the only one who scored. I won't say that there was no offense, but, I mean, it felt kind of like that, to be honest. But Pat Freiermuth has become, like, even though he's one of the younger guys on the team, he's a rookie, he seems like he's kind of the guy that Big Ben can rely on. I know he had the fumble a couple weeks ago, but he's the guy that Big Ben looks to when he's got making tough plays. Pat Freiermuth, I think oh no, just kidding. That was TJ Watt. Never mind. Different white guy.
But Pat Freiermuth, another guy who's a tight end that you need to keep an eye on, because I think he's going to be a top 10 tight end for a long time. I mean, I think we can get to the point to where, just depending how the chips fall, maybe we're talking about Pat Freiermuth as a top 5 tight end going forward in years to come. But, I mean, 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So it's like when they get in close, like you said, Ben looks for him. When they get in the red zone, he's a massive red zone weapon. Just a big guy who can go up and get these contested catches here. I mean, 10 or more PPR points in 4 of the last 5 games. I mean, just if you went out and got Pat Freiermuth off the waiver wire and you just been playing him every single week, you're not disappointed. You're very happy with what you've been getting from Pat Freiermuth, and I think he just continues the rest of the season. So
yeah, definitely. You have Deontay Johnson and Pat Freiermuth are the guys that I know Deontay Johnson had the drops last year, but not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think he has one drop on the season, actually.
I mean, I know we looked into the stats last year, and it's basically like if you get like 6 touchdowns as a tight end, like you're going to finish as a top 10 tight end. Like that's for the season. If you get 6 touchdowns for the whole season, you're going to finish as a top 10 tight end. He's got 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sign me up.
Let's go on to our boy Zach Ertz for the Arizona Cardinals. How do you feel about this? Because this doesn't seem like, these other guys we talked about are kind of more, when they're on the field, they seem a little bit more consistent. What are your thoughts on Zach Ertz?
Yeah, this one's kind of weird because I said sit him a couple weeks ago. He ends up getting you 8 catches, 88 yards for 2 touchdowns. So not very good as a sit there. But we did, obviously sometimes it's hard to predict these things. We try our best to predict with the matchups and the games scripts and all that stuff. In Seattle, you would think it was a tough matchup, but obviously Seattle's just kind of all over the place. They're on a down trend. The Seattle Seahawks are, but yeah, I mean, like I said, they went out, they traded for him, so they're obviously going to utilize him. And if they get Kyler Murray back, it only boosts this offense and this passing attack. If they get D-Hop back, helps as well. So yeah, not mad at Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either. I know there's a lot of options there, but he's a very talented tight end. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. We're going to move on to defenses. We loved streaming defenses. This past week, we gave some advice, but we're going into week 13. It's a new week. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. We got the Eagles defense, week 13, playing the New York Jets. Need I say more?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is eagerly one of the best options this week.
You stupid fuck. This is eagerly the best defense he can play. Oh, my God, you stupid idiot.
Yeah, but they're going to play against the Jets. I mean, you're not really worried about Zach Wilson. You're not really worried about this rushing attack. I know they beat the Texans, but they beat the Texans, the Jets. So it's not like, good for the Jets. They won the garbage bowl.
That game, I was like, man, who's watching this? And then I was like, wait, I'm watching it.
But, I mean, Corey Davis will probably, if he plays, he'll probably be shadowed by Darius Slay, who's been playing lights out this season. If he doesn't play, I'm expecting Darius Slay to be on Elijah Moore, so maybe limit him and his upside as well. So, yeah, I'm not expecting a ton of offense and a ton of points from the New York Jets in this matchup. So, yeah, I like the Eagles this week.
Yeah, Eagles defense, love it. Let's sign me up, baby. Let's move on to the next one here. Next defense to stream for week 13. Of course, we're going to talk about Tyler's Dolphins. Tyler loves talking about the Miami Dolphins because he's a Miami Dolphins fan. So, definitely, if you don't know that he's a Dolphins fan, well, now you do. They're playing in Miami. Your brother's going to the game.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean?
It means they're going to win.
Oh.
Science, dude.
Okay.
Science. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but they've done some type of transformation or whatever it is. But I mean,
told
you the last 4 weeks, they haven't given up over 17 points in a game. They've held, I mean, their sacks are just insane. Like, I think it was like the first 9 games they had like 12 sacks, and in the last 4 games, they have 16 sacks. So they've been all over the field.
I think it's that blitz package, that video I showed you.
Yeah.
This guy was breaking down the all 22 on the Dolphins. And when you guys played the Baltimore Ravens, because the Baltimore Ravens are a hard team to defend because Lamar Jackson can just slip out, whatever.
Yeah.
But you guys just ran this same blitz package like 40 times in that game.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at like what you guys have been doing since that Ravens game, but since that Ravens game, it seems like, because you have your safety Holland. It's like I see him on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place.
But like, you know what I mean? They'll stack. They'll have no safety back there.
Yeah.
If you watch them, let's play it. So, Dolphins defense looks really good. I mean,
they're going to be home against Danny Dimes and the New York Giants. Yeah. So I mean, Danny Dimes obviously playing better, or okay, I guess. I don't say better, but also a guy who's been known to turn over the football.
Yeah, like he hasn't been turning it over like crazy, but your guys' defense, I would assume you.
Yeah, we have this guy named Xavier Howard. He's pretty good. So
yeah, he got a pick? No, he had a pick.
Yeah, he got a pick. So
someone had a pick 6 for you guys last week or no?
No.
Yeah,
block punt.
Oh, okay, that's
so,
right.
I mean, in Miami's just they're hot like Hansel right now. I mean, 4 in a row. NBA Jam heating up. I think as a Dolphins fan, obviously I'm biased, but I'd like to say 5 in a row, as if they can beat the New York Giants, which I think they will. I think this defense is just playing lights out right now. The confidence is through the roof. The energy and the morale in the locker room is through the roof. So, yeah, they're going to be at home. Sign me up all day because, in 3 of the last 4 games, they've had 10 or more fantasy points for the defense.
Yeah. I will say, like as Will Smith would say, what do you want?
He's get jiggy with
old and busted or the new hotness? You've just seen that in Men in Black?
The new
Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Obscure reference. Okay, let's move on to the Colts defense for week 13. You threw this one in here. Colts playing against. I mean, come on, dude. They're playing the Texans.
I mean, yeah, I know that they just got shellacked by Leonard Fournette on the ground, but I mean, for the most part, the Colts are one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL, I believe. So yeah, Houston, not very good running backs. David Johnson, not very good. Rex Burkhead, not very good. And then just the Texans offense in general, outside of Brandon Cooks, not very good. So yeah, I like them to have a kind of like a get right game, get back on track, and I like this defense as a potential streaming option this week in Houston against the Texans.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. Colts defense, week 13. Put them in your lineup, baby.
I mean, I feel like as long as you can like shut down Brandon Cooks or limit him, I mean, what more does this offense have? The Texans, There's not very much. So,
yeah, totally. Okay, so that's it for the main part of the episode. I want to just jump in here and maybe we can answer some of these questions really quick.
Yeah.
So we'll have the chat should pop up now over there, but we'll just keep it here. Anyways. So Harry Wolf, I don't know if you're still in here, but you said PPR trade. I give Kelsey, Jamar, and DK for Kittle, Tyreek, Claypool, and more. I think he gives up Kelsey, Jamar, and DK, but Kittle, Tyreek, Claypool, and DJ Moore.
So it just depends if you're going to utilize all four of those guys for me, because I feel like Kittle and Tyreek is kind of a fair trade for Kelsey and Jamar. I mean, getting Tyreek right there obviously is a huge boost. And then Kittle's been, balling. And then obviously Deebo Samuel's out a couple games, so that should even just boost Kittle's value going forward for these next couple games. Should still remain like a top, 3 to 4 tight end for the rest of the season, Kittle. But it's like, are you going to play Claypool more every week? Because if you're just getting these pieces for like bench or depth, it's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to utilize all those players, then yeah, I think it's a fair trade. I don't see what's wrong.
Yeah, like if you have like double flex, is that what you said?
If you're gonna play, obviously you're playing Kittle and Tyreek, but if you're gonna play Claypool and DJ Moore as well, then yeah. But if you're just gonna like bench those guys or only play one of them, then I don't know if it really works out, because it's like you're just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
But DK is kind of
the Seahawks are
slump,
shite.
yeah.
The Seahawks are just like Russell Wilson looks inaccurate.
Yeah.
But so that's for you. Yeah. So
yeah, if you're gonna utilize all four of those guys in your lineup, then I think it's fair, because you're getting one extra player that you could put into your starting lineup.
Yeah.
And I think across the board, it's pretty fair. The Kittle and Tyreek, Kelsey, Jamar is pretty fair. And then, Claypool Moore basically for DK is what the third piece would be.
Yeah.
And like I said, DK's kind of been struggling the last couple games because Russell Wilson's been struggling. Obviously, the guy's got a broken hand in a sense.
Yeah.
So obviously it's hard for him to grab the ball, and his accuracy has been, struggling with that. And then the Seahawks offense has just been terrible lately.
Not good.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this. Stacey Johnson, she said, should I drop Barkley for a waiver wire ad? I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely not.
Don't do that.
Saquon Barkley? Definitely not.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to a couple of these other ones. Frank Chapp says, I don't think, it won't come back. You all the best. Appreciate you, Moogie. Should I trade DK and Javonte for CD? I'm 6-6 full point PPR. That's Lee Shakur. I don't know if let me know if you guys are still in here if you asked a question, okay? Should I trade DK and Javonte for CD? Would you do that? I don't think I would.
I don't think I would do it. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to check on Melvin Gordon real quick, because I know he got banged up. But no, he was good. Obviously, Javonte, he's been good. If you see him run, he looks good. But it's just, they have Melvin Gordon there, and Melvin Gordon's getting a ton of work as well. But that one's tough. It just depends on.
Yeah.
I mean, are you playing Javonte? Because if you're not playing Javonte, if he's just like a depth piece, like say he's like a third, fourth running back, and you already have like your starting running backs, then I'm not mad at making that trade, because it's like, okay, like I'm not even playing Javonte. He's kind of just a depth piece, or like, in case something happens, then I'm going to play him. So if he's just sitting on my bench, then yeah, sign me up all day. I'll trade DK and Javonte for CD, because CD is going to be, to me, top 10 the rest of the season. And obviously we've seen DK kind of just – he's been struggling. And the Cowboys offense is better than the Seahawks offense. So, yeah, if you're not utilizing Javonte right now and he's not a key piece of your starting lineup, I'm not mad at trading for CeeDee Lamb for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to Michael O'Grady's question because I see that he's in here. Vikings, Cowboys, or Chiefs defense?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Because here we go. If this helps you, does this help you?
So Cowboys, Vikings, or Chiefs?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at the Chiefs defense because I feel like they've been playing pretty good as of late. I don't know what it is, but I mean we've seen they've like limited Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. I mean they limited Aaron Rodgers to just 7 points. So they've been playing pretty good. And at home, Sunday Night Football, coming off a bye, yeah, I'm not really concerned about Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do like that one as well. Dallas's defense is interesting because they're playing against the Saints. We'll see if Taysom Hill is the quarterback or not. And then the Cowboys are also getting back DeMarcus Lawrence, I believe his name is. So that just should boost their defensive line as well. I think he's their highest paid defender. So, yeah, that one's an interesting one as well. But, yeah, I'm in the league, and I'm going to pick up the Chiefs and stream them this week.
Yeah. I'm not mad at the Chiefs defense.
Sunday Night Football in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Division game. I mean, yeah, that division's tight. So a division game, a win in the division would be clutch for the Chiefs right now. And they're coming off a bye. So, yeah, I do like the Chiefs.
Do you see that one that popped up?
What do you think about Dalton Schultz? That one?
No.
Oh. Well, I see the Dalton Schultz one. I mean, obviously Schultz he's been doing really good, but I think it's largely in part to Jarwin being out, and then you had Amari Cooper out for COVID. He should be back. CeeDee Lamb missed with the concussion. He's been back. So, I mean, if you have Gronk, you're playing Gronk. You know, I mean, if you want to grab Schultz as an insurance policy because Gronk, has been banged up. So you can grab him just in case something does happen to Gronk, and he has to miss later in the season. You have Dalton Schultz as a good backup. I'm not mad at that, but, I mean, you're starting Gronk over Schultz the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm with that. Someone said someone offered me Kamara. By the way, I might have to get out of here.
All right.
I don't know.
So, we'll probably have to wrap this up. Last question.
Yeah, you want to do a couple or I don't know.
We just wrap it up.
Okay. Someone offered me. Which one do you want to do? Let's do Elout because he just posted this one. I got a trade open at the moment where I give Kamara and Chenault versus Mitchell and Sony Michel. What do you guys think? I got an incoming Taysom Hill at the back of my mind together with Henderson injury. I got a trade open at the moment where I give Kamara and Chenault for Elijah Mitchell and Sony Michel.
Nah, I'm keeping Kamara. I mean, Elijah Mitchell's been balling for sure. But Sony Michel, I think Darrell Henderson will be all right. I don't think it's anything serious to where he's going to miss that much time. And so basically it comes down to you're basically trading Kamara for Mitchell, and I'm not trading Kamara for Mitchell.
Well, and here's yeah. I get it but I'm with you too. Is like I don't think, and even if Darrell Henderson's gone, I don't think Sony Michel is like going to come in and just become like do what Darrell Henderson has done during the season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Sony Michel's going to step in and do that. So I think I'm with you, too. I'm going to keep Kamara. But it does look enticing, though.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell has been 20. What do you have? 27 carries.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah. Okay. I see for the Dalton Schultz one now. Yeah. So that's all set. If you guys want to leave comments on this actual video, we can respond. We respond to everything. So
yeah. So I see what I hear. It says someone offered me Kamara. They want Darrell Henderson or Patterson. I mean, it'd be impossible to trade Cordell Patterson at this point. He's just
you can't.
He's the Falcons' offense.
He's literally
he's the Falcons' offense.
He's like averaging like 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, it's insane. Would I trade Darrell Henderson for Kamara? I mean, as long as Kamara is healthy, yeah, I would trade Darrell Henderson for Kamara.
Yeah. But yeah, That's all she wrote, baby. Thanks for checking us out. Leave your comments in the actual video if you want, and we will respond to them. So appreciate everybody. Thanks for checking us out.
Yeah, missionary Mike's got to get out of here. He's got to go on a mission.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay?
Did you just fart?
No.
Dude, what did I tell you about farting on
I
live
had a
stream?
thumbtack, and it was on my